So Andy Cruz versus Abdullah Mason is being talked about. My thoughts on the fight. I would love to see it. I definitely would love to see it. Two supremely talented fighters at 135. 135 is loaded, man. 135 is really loaded. And a fight between them two would be great. Those are two contenders. Um, I personally would pick Abdullah Mason to win that fight, but I do think it's like 51-49. Abdullah Mason. Um, but I don't think that fight is going to happen. I do not believe that Top Rank is going to throw Abdullah Mason in there with Andy Cruz. I just think the risk reward is way too off balance, right? They have a great up and coming fighter right now. They're not going to risk someone like Andy Cruz, who has no fan base but is supremely talented, to get in the ring with him at this point in his career. I don't believe that's going to happen. Now, in his last fight, Abdullah Mason, he stepped it up. He beat a guy that, Rolly Romero had to go 10 rounds with, right? He was able to knock him out in like 5 rounds or something like that. I mean, he looked spectacular in that fight. I mean, spectacular. So coming off of those 2 knockdowns, you can clearly see that, he fixed some things and he was able to look like sensational. I mean, to me personally, I think he's the best fighter at 135. I think he will beat everybody at 135 eventually, right? If they get in the ring with him. That's how good he is. I believe he's dedicated to the sport. His dad got his head screwed on straight. He's not a knucklehead. And he's going to be a handful. But to fight Andy Cruz right now, I just don't think Bob Arum would do nothing like that. I think this is just all talk. You know what I'm saying? And in the end, nothing's going to happen between this. Now, I could see the benefit in it helping them both, right? If Abdullah Mason beat the guy that beat Keyshawn Davis in the amateurs, right? And let's just say he looks spectacular against him, right? Let's say he even stops him. Everybody's going to start thinking for sure that he can beat Keyshawn Davis, and that's going to raise that profile big time. I mean, Abdullah Mason profile is going to go skyrocket, right? And then everybody's going to start talking about that. Abdullah Mason beat the guy that Keyshawn Davis couldn't beat, for sure. Oh, my goodness, right? Now, if Andy Cruz was to win, right, you got an up-and-coming prospect that looks spectacular right now. They're going to start pushing for, if he can beat Abdullah Mason and look spectacular, then what can he do to Keyshawn Davis, right? And you can see his profile going up. And now people are going to start asking for that fight against Keyshawn Davis even more, right? So I see the benefit in both of them. I see the benefit how both, with a victory, would really help their profile, right? So, I think the zone definitely would be a lot more inclined to do it, just because, I mean, Andy Cruz, just nobody talks about him like that. You know what I'm saying? And this would really help him big time, right? And it also can help Abdullah Mason because, like I said, he beat the guy that beat Keyshawn Davis, that Keyshawn Davis couldn't beat. And Keyshawn Davis is a world champion right now. So I can see how it could work on both sides. I just don't believe it will happen. Of course, I would love it to happen as a boxing fan. That's just who I am. I want to see the best fight the best. Even if it's my guy getting in there and fighting a very difficult fight, I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those guys that's going to make excuses. Yeah, well, Andy Cruz doesn't have a fan base, and why would they? Yeah, you could say that. But as a fan, I don't give a fuck. I want to see him fight. I don't care about the fan bases. But that's my thoughts on the fight. Let me know what y'all think. I got Abdullah Mason winning the fight. Very close fight, competitive fight. But I'm going to pick Abdullah Mason.